Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a new subscriber, my name is Njeri Kamau. If you're a returning subscriber, you, my friend, are just amazing. And thank you so much for always coming back. So thank you so much. And in today's video, before I continue, I wanted, of course, to shout my makeup artist, Makeup by Bella B Faces. Check her out on Instagram, and as usual, her Instagram page is right down here. So check her out, check her work. And she does an amazing job. So as you can see, yeah, she's doing an amazing job. So in today's video, we'll be talking about going through, or how you know that you've gone through your trauma. You may not go through all the traumas at the same time, but how do you know that I'm making progress? How do you know? I said in another video that it's good to take accountability of everything you do in life, or even of your mistakes. The same way you take accountability of your mistakes, the same way you should take accountability of your milestones, of your progress, of the good things that you've achieved. Because traumas are not easy things to go through. Like it or you don't, then, or believe me or not, they're not things you just sleep and tomorrow you wake up and they're gone. Traumas take time. You might be experiencing a lot of traumas, maybe because 1, you lost people, 2, you are violated, 3, you are abused. Any kind of trauma that you may be experiencing, it takes a lot of patience. And when you've gone through a certain kind of trauma, it might not go completely, because a thing will be left, but once you've gone, you need to give yourself credit, because, my friend, you're doing the work and nobody else does the work. It's you who does each and everything. So it's you who does the work, and sometimes it's good to give yourself credit where you deserve it. So today we are talking about how do you measure, how do you know that at least I'm moving past this kind of trauma or this type of trauma. And as usual, we'll be quoting some Bible verses. Yeah, so welcome. If you're a new subscriber, before I continue, if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much, and you're about to become my very, 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 very most amazing person ever, and a very good friend. So in this channel, we talk about how to take care of our emotional well-being, how we move past traumas. We talk about relationships. We talk about everything relationship and traumas, more especially the orphan, and also in every dimension we remember to include the scripture and the Bible and God, because at the end of the day, it's the foundation of everything. Yeah, so let's get right into it. So I read somewhere that there are 5 responses that indicate that you've moved past a trauma. 5, and they're not negative, because when you've moved past something, it means that you're now doing good, that you're now better. So there are 5 positive responses that indicate that you've moved past your trauma. You've gone through your trauma and now you're at a good place. You may not be at that good place like 100%, but at least you are at a good place. So I'm hoping to cover 2 in today's video, and then the other 3 we shall maybe cover in our next video. So number 1, so one of them is life appreciation. Number 2, relationship. Number 2, relationships. Number 3, new perception. Number 4, personal strength. Number 5, Christian change. If you can see a change in any of these 5 dimensions, then you, my friend, are going through your traumatic experiences, or you've already gone through your traumatic experience. So for today, we'll be talking about only 2. 1, spiritual change, and 2, new perception, like experiencing life in another dimension. I'm planning not to take like 100% of your time, just like a little bit of your time. So I'm not planning to make the video long, and I know so let's get right into it. So number 1, as I said, it's the Christian change. Traumas can really drag you down. They can make you doubt even your Christian life. They can make you even doubt God. They can make you doubt the existence of any superior being, even when you are a Christian, because traumas are bad. They are bad. They make you doubt everything. Nothing ever makes sense to you. So I love giving experiences of my own. For example, growing up, I lost a lot of people through death. A lot. Like nilikuwa naenda kwa huyu anapass, naenda kwa huyu anapass, naenda kwa huyu anapass. And at some point I remember asking God, kwani mimi ndo nimelaniwa such that nikienda kila mahali mtu anapass? So at some point in life I just felt like God really doesn't even care. He keeps taking away people that I love. He keeps taking away people that care about me, people that are genuine about how they feel about me. And so I was in so much pain, in so much anger about God, and I wouldn't even pray. Nilikuwa tu na makasiriko, nilikuwa tu nashinda nikipiga kelele, niko zile za God, pia wewe unasema you have good plans for me, kwani good plans zako ni kuchukua kila mtu mwenye napenda? At some point it doesn't make sense. But when you've lost a lot of people that you loved, when you've lost a lot of people that cared about you, you end up doubting the existence of God. You end up even doubting your spiritual life. You end up hata unashangaa, sasa nimeokoka ya nini? See, life in Christ inafai kuwe fun, inafai kuwe better. But when you've lost a lot of people, my friend, you'll doubt all that. But once you go through your trauma, once you've gone through, and now we are talking about a phase whereby you now stop regretting why people are taking away from you. Example, you now stop regretting things. One way one way you know that you've already moved past that is because you find your comfort in God. Because I remember like that time, I think you're feeling nimeacha kuisha tu juzi after nimeanza kujijua. But back then, during that time, I used to find comfort in people. A lot of comfort in people. Like you could find, I would just want to be with people even when they're not adding value in my life. I would allow anybody. I would allow people to be in my life. Like I really didn't care. I just wanted people to wakunifanya nisahau vile na feel. So I found comfort in that, and I found comfort in other things that maybe for one reason or the other, maybe in another video mbele I'll mention, but I found comfort in other bad things, and it didn't work well. But when you start finding your comfort in God, like you feel at peace. When you're comfortable with something, you're at peace with it. So when you start feeling comfortable with God and you find your comfort in God, you can talk to Him, you can tell Him anything, then you, my friend, have moved past your trauma. In the book of Psalms 23 verse 4, all of us definitely know. I think most of us know that verse. It's, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, He comforts me. So there's a place that says He comforts me. It also continues and says, in verse 4 it says, even though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for His rod comforts me. Even when you're going through that traumatic experience, once you realize that God is your comfort, that God comforts you, that there's pain, that there's no pain that is in vain, that is in Romans. I think it is in Acts, but there's somewhere that the Bible says that pain is not in vain, and pain has its purpose. Without you going through pain, you wouldn't know how it feels like to be comforted. So even when you're going through those traumatic experiences, God comforts you. And once you start realizing that even when you're going through any kind of situation, the first person or the first thing you lean on is God, then you are making a very, very good step. Another Bible verse is in 2 Corinthians chapter 1 verses 3. It says, God comforts us in all our troubles. Yeah, okay, it's like in short, but God comforts us in all our troubles. Even in our traumatic experiences, God comforts us. So the moment you realize that God is your comfort, that God comforts you always, then you, my friend, are moving past your traumatic experience. I've gone through it, so I know. Like right now, even a friend of mine, I wouldn't mention them here because sijauliza kama niwataje, but a friend of mine keeps telling me that there's nothing God cannot do. Nakumbuka namwambia vitu mingi, so he was like, there's nothing God cannot do. You're going through this, you've done your best, the rest achia Mungu. He's the one who does everything. So He's the one who comforts us even during our most trying times, not human beings. Even when you've lost a loved one, people will come, They will wipe your tears using handkerchiefs, but if those people leave, the tears will flow back again. But it's only God who can wipe them dry. We will come if you've lost somebody, we will hug you, but it is only God who can give you complete comfort. So that is one thing. And another thing about your spiritual change, it changes because you now start believing in a superior being, in a supernatural being, in a divine being. Because as I said earlier, when you're going through a traumatic experience, many times that you start doubting even the existence of God. You wonder, kwani Mungu ako wapi? Where is this God that I worship? Where is this God that I go to church to every Sunday to praise? But when you've already gone through that, you've worked, because as we said, going through trauma, it's work, and nobody is doing the work for you. We've already agreed on that. You're the one who's doing the work. So when you start trusting in God, even in your most difficult situations, then you either going through the traumatic experience, or you've already gone through completely, like through past it. On Sunday, the person who preached for us said, when the teaching becomes hard, will you leave? You know, the same way. The same when we left, you know, like if now you've already gone through your traumas, and if anything else comes back and it's kind of traumatic, you will not leave. You know, you will not leave, because you now know, I can trust in God to take care of this. You know, I cannot trust in God to handle this situation. Maybe you don't even have school fees, but there's a time you lacked school fees, maybe for 2 semesters, and it really haunted you. Maybe in high school, you now started remembering how maybe in high school you struggled about fees. But if He did it for you once and now you've gone through it, even if you lacked anything else, you will still trust that. You will still believe in the existence of a superior being who is capable of doing anything and everything. Point number 2 is gaining new perceptions. After trauma, you experience new perceptions, new views, or new ways of handling situations. For example, right now, I don't think how I reacted after I've lost all those people that I've lost in my life is the same way I would react if I lost somebody right now. I am not sure, but I am 100% sure I wouldn't deal with it the same way, because now I know that one, God wipes away the tears. If it's losing a parent, I know that one, even if I lost a parent, Jesus promises us that He will not leave us like orphans. He will send somebody to help us. So I know that even if my biological parents are not here, I have somebody who is taking care of me. I have a helper who I can count on. The same Bible says that God is the father of orphans. So right now I know that even if somebody lost a parent, it's hard, but at least I know what to tell them. I know I can tell them that God is the father of orphans. So you might have been left alone here on earth, but in your other realms, somebody has your back. Somebody has your back more than how your mother would have your back, more than how your father would have your back. This one has your back because He understands everything about your life. He understands you. You know, sometimes our mothers may understand how we feel emotionally, how our psychology works, but God understands how our spirit works. He understands us. He understands every vein. So once you've gone through a traumatic experience, you get new perceptions, you get new experiences, and now even how you handle situations becomes very, very different. Even the Bible says the old is gone and the new has come. So the same way things pass, the same way your trauma has passed, new things come, and when they come, you have a different perception. You have a different way of handling that situation. As I conclude, I remember some time back, I lived with somebody who was kind of perfectionist, and for me, I always felt like I was never enough, because everything I did, there was a mistake with it. Everything, absolutely everything. I most probably didn't do it according to their expectation, because if there was a problem with it, it means I didn't do it according to their standards. And for the longest time, I have really struggled with wanting everything to be perfect, even what I know I cannot perfect. it really made me feel like there's nothing I do that is okay. There's nothing I do that is great. Everything I do is not worth it, you know. But now, in the last 2-3 years, I have come to realize if I've given it my best, then if somebody else says I've not done my best, at least I know I did my best. I've learned to revalue myself. I now know how to handle people who are perfectionists. Some say I'm also a perfectionist. If ukikakana mimi kidogo kama tujazoana, you might think I'm a perfectionist, but it's because of what somebody else taught me, or it's because of maybe of an experience I went through. Because at times it will get like really worse. Ulikuwa unafanya kitu and they will say you didn't do it well, yet you gave it like your all. That was your very, very best. And I don't know why, but they would always assume ulifanya na madharau. You know, even when ukukwa na feelings yoyote, like bad feelings. So, but now, like right now, I've already moved past that. It was very traumatic. I don't know if you can get, but for me it was very traumatic because I felt some kind of hatred for myself. I felt like there's nothing I do that's okay. So at times I will just do things after moving from there. At times I will just do things just for the sake of doing, because anyway, even if I give it my all, people will not appreciate it. But then when I realized that situations help you get new perceptions, situations help you get new experiences. So now I know how to do things. I just give it my all. And if somebody else feels I didn't give it my all, it's not about how they feel. It's about how I feel. I know they say that people will forget what you told them, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. I know they say that. But if you've done your very, very best, you know, like you've done your complete best, you will not have anything to feel sad about, or you will not have anything to regret about. And even if the other person felt like you didn't do your best, they will do their best, and maybe somebody else will also come and think they did their best, you know. So at the end of the day, it's the experiences, it's what you gain after you're post-traumatic, after you've passed through trauma, how you're able to deal with new situations. So if you have better solutions than you had then, or maybe of a similar situation, or you have good words or better words you tell somebody going through the same thing, then you, my friend, yes, you have already gone through that, and you, my friend, are doing really, really, really good. So that's it for today's video. I hope you've learned something. And as usual, and as I always say, and as I always love to conclude my videos by saying that orphans and any orphan and any other person who might have lost somebody they love and now they feel like they have been orphaned in one way or the other, two things: somebody values you, somebody loves you. I may not love you the same way, your relatives may not love you the same way, but God who comforts, God who takes care of everybody else will take care of you. We've said that today. Even if you lost your mother a month ago, the pain you're going through is not the same kind of pain I will go through probably, because I lost my parents like 13 years ago. It's not the same kind of pain. But one thing I know and one thing I can assure you is that God comforts and God wipes away our tears, and you will get through it. And even if you'll not heal forever, you will get through it. So as usual, I love to say I love you guys so much and I appreciate you, and thank you so much for always being here, for the feedback. Actually, tunapatana kwa barabara and they tell me this and this. Thank you so much. So this week, let's head up to 100 subscribers, and thank you so much. So tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend that you found a new channel that is helping you acknowledge your emotions and grow emotionally. So till next time.